Our next speaker today is Shady Cosgrove, who's going to be talking to us about transversing the liminal, Flight, the Immigrant, and the Prose Poem. Thanks, Shady.
No worries. Thank you. It's lovely to be here. The immigrant reckons with in-betweenness. This reckoning with place and notions of home is important because more and more of the Earth's population is transient, whether through choice or displacement. The prose poem offers an interesting way to explore transnational borderlands, both geographic and psychic, because of its own hybridity of form. That is, by occupying a space between prose and poetry, the prose poem is valuable for exploring multiple and opposing places, histories, and becomings. My work is concerned with two questions. How might a poetic form capture the immigrant experience? How can we write in ways that allow us to appreciate human complexity and foster connection? The nature of being is continually shifting and changing, and the population of Australia is likewise. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, more than 30% of the population was born overseas. To be considered a migrant, a resident needs to be here for 12 months or more, and this includes everyone, quote, regardless of nationality, citizenship, or legal status. So this inspired a few questions for me. How might we think about borders? According to Pincioni and Balsener, although they are commonly used to demarcate enclosed areas of space, borders can be used abstractly as any distinction made within a homogeneous field, be it space, time, or distinguishing the self from the non-self. That is, the way we think about borders can operate in geographic terrain, but it can also affect how we understand notions of us and them, what joins, what separates us. This is interesting in light of poetry and the prose poem because the prose poem is a form that also occupies a space of in-betweenness. Oxford Reference defines the prose poem as a short composition that uses devices of free verse, such as poetic imagery and figures, with the format of prose. In my experience, the prose poem offers a different way of thinking through theme than standard prose. There's more space for extended metaphor, understanding one thing through another, and less emphasis on things like, say, plot and character. There's rhythm that's inspired by the use of sentences, but the scope is different. That is form. The way we write about something dictates what it is possible to say. I've explored themes of immigration, liminality, and borders in Flight, my collection of prose poems due for publication in August with Gazebo Books. Flight is a braided collection that explores the domestic, motherhood, relationships, and place through the immigrant perspective. Many of the pieces were written during COVID, when it was impossible for me to see family and friends in my country of birth, the United States. The final poem in the collection reads, multiple lifetimes, not serially though, simultaneously. Maybe it's core to the immigrant, restlessness and imagining, but this desire is bigger than path and not taken. I want both, and I want to be the whole woods too, every fern, tree, and canopy, the ground underfoot, the smell of composting leaves and arriving rain. Harold Bloom states, reading well is the most healing of pleasures. Imaginative literature is otherness and as such alleviates loneliness. That is, we read to find connection. David Shields underscores this in his book, How Literature Saved My Life. And Christopher Conti argues one value of literature consists in the way it teaches appreciation of human complexity, showing readers ways of handling their fundamental inability to perfectly control their lives or predict what is to come. And we do live in unpredictable times. My work with the prose poem form and themes of migration aims to navigate human complexity while simultaneously connecting readers, thus alleviating loneliness with a shared reckoning of the human condition. Thank you.